Good afternoon. This is Eric Kolodny with the Epiphany Trading Markets Wrap-Up for Friday, December 18th. The markets masked a very busy day. The Dow was up 20 points, closing at 10,328. NASDAQ was up considerably more, going on 1.5%, 31 points, closing at 2211. It's very busy in the morning, very busy in the afternoon. As noted in the blog this morning, there was tremendous action by the fact that today is the last day of the year for many traders and many money managers. Today's the last major day for news flow, so everything came together today. Dollar was hit initially. Markets tried to get negative. It popped right back up. Techs were strong all day after Oracle and RIMS numbers. So overall, like I noted, a quiet day for the averages, a lot of noise underneath the surface. For Monday, probably going to be another up day, probably going to be up 2 weeks. Been up all year long, no real news flow, no reason to get out of anything. And whoever's around is probably going to start pushing some of the stuff even higher than it already is to just simply tack on to performance. The trades for Monday morning, which I'll go into in some detail in a minute, a lot of them are going to have to do with imbalances because of the aforementioned craziness in the close today with money managers selling and buying certain stocks, particularly the illiquid ones having to get out, just doing portfolio readjusting. There were some absolutely bizarre moves, so you want to pay attention to those. If the things, let me give an example. Stock I was actually in today on the close was GEL. Stock was trading about 18.5, 18.40 just before the close. I put a bid in on the Amex, some at 17.60, some at 17.30. I get filled at 17. So there's a couple ways to play that. If it opens at 17.5 on Monday morning, goes down to 17.30 and comes back to a half, I want to buy 17.5. If it opens at 17.30, it goes down to 17. There's no real reason for it to go down because theoretically, if there was just one major order that was sold, I'd look to short it. If another just absolutely nutso one, BCAR, Bank of Carolina, it almost tripled today on an imbalance. It's another one for you, everyone out there to look at a chart of. If the thing opens near a high and it holds and it gets through unchanged, I want to buy it. Conversely, if it opens at, say, 8, rallies up to 8.5, falls back down to 8, I want to short as much of it as I possibly can. It's going to be a very interesting morning on Monday, very liquid, but very interesting. A few things to look at include, on the positive side, SENO is found not liable for patent infringement on Friday morning. Stock closed near its intraday high today. XRA closed on a high on a buy imbalance. SNH closed near a high after entering the S&P 400. CAT, there was a very weird buy order in the last minute of trading today. It closed on a high. DRI closed near a high after posting good earnings. HPJ closed near a high. Celgene, CELG closed near a high after positive drug news. Visa, symbol V, closed near a high upon inclusion in the S&P 500. Could reverse a little bit, though, after the huge run-up this week. Apple and Amazon were among the big cap tech stocks closing near a high. Goldman Sachs closed near a high. GS, FSP, EXK, CENX, EWBC all closed near highs, as did ASYS. ABCD closed higher in an imbalance. I can't even begin to do justice to this move. Stock rallied from 4 to 14 before closing at 6. If you look at the chart to see exactly what in the world it is that I'm saying here. BCAR, I already noted, closed near an imbalance, high on an imbalance, and BTIM is up after hours today. On the negative side, BCR closed sharply lower after cutting its earnings guidance. I already discussed GEL, which closed near a low on a sell imbalance. POT closed on a low after brokerage downgrade. CTCM, KMGB, MDCI, and WHI all closed near lows. ENP closed near a low on one big sell order, as did MPX. The earnings calendar, Conagra and Walgreens, CAG and WAG on Monday before the open, JBL and OMN after the close. With that, I wish all of you a good night. Have fun in the blizzard this weekend out here, and good luck trading on Monday.